Hey everybody, welcome back to Trial and Error. So look, the idea of one day becoming a pilot, not necessarily for a line of work, but just for pleasure, has always been one of those tantalizing, I'd even say fantasies, because I never thought it would be something I would actually really be able to do. But recently, in fact this past weekend I came up on a, call it a Hallmark birthday. That makes me a man of a certain age. And my wife decided, knowing that's always been a thing, to get me a discovery flight for my birthday. So if you don't know what a discovery flight is, this is going to explain that to you, but I can tell you I discovered more than I wanted to know on this discovery flight. So again, this is a little off topic from my channel, but it does keep with my channel's Tourette syndrome about topics, so I think we'll be okay with it. So stay tuned. Alright, just so we're all on the same page here, a little bit of background on me. This is the first time I will have ever set foot into a small aircraft or general aviation. Smallest plane I've ever been on is probably just a turboprop, so this is a totally new deal for me. And with that said, I do know a lot about general aviation, and I know a lot about aircraft, and felt very comfortable with that whole idea. So he skipped over bunch of things after he and I talked. We talked about an hour to an hour and a half before we even got out on the tarmac, and he decided he was going to do some more, not necessarily advanced things by any means, but just a little bit more than your typical discovery flight, and that's where he lost me. So stay tuned for that. Hooked up some cockpit audio, which I haven't started to play with that yet, but I hope that comes out nice so you can hear it, and yeah, enjoy the flight.
This is a 4-cylinder engine, develops 160 horsepower, and we're checking the oil here.
Okay.
And like the next here, not this white one, the next one over there, it's got 180 horse. It's still a 4-cylinder engine. It's just bigger cylinders to do that.
Oh, so simple, huh?
Well, yeah, and these
yeah.
training airplanes, it's basically simple.
Yeah,
but,
very.
Any questions about anything?
Well, you see, yeah, I see the one mag. Is there? There's got to be a second one too, right?
Two, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one here.
One there, yeah.
And there's one, if I open up the other side, the other one, same place on the other side.
On the other side. So they're driven independently from each other?
Yes, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's see here, this magneto here runs the bottom, see spark plugs?
Oh, okay, yep.
That mag runs the bottom ones over here, and the bottom ones over there. The other mag
run the top. Okay,
plug.
I was looking for a second set going in, but yeah, it's on the other side. That makes sense.
So
simple but redundant.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's like even the fuel supply. You got engine-driven fuel pump.
Yep.
And you have electric.
Okay.
Now we use electric for takeoff and landings as backup for the.
Oh yeah, there's a mechanical pump.
Mechanical one.
Yeah.
And some airplanes, like my Bonanza, I got 3. They have electric, engine driven.
Yep.
And then down by my left seat there's a hand we'll pull out, and we call that a wobble pump.
Okay.
I can sit here and pump fuel with that.
Yeah.
There's 3 ways to keep fuel going
to it. Do you check the tanks for water?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do next.
Okay. Oh yeah.
There's little ears. I'll show you that. Okay. See, you got these little ears.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Little bleed screw, basically.
Yeah. You just lift up on it, then it snaps back into place.
Oh, okay.
Now, if there's water in there, it makes a distinct line in there because the water is heavier than the gas. Water weighs about 8.5 pounds a gallon. Gas weighs 6. Aviation gas. Now, these fuel tanks, they flow up to the engine. Then there's another cylinder right here that will detain the water before it ever gets to the engine.
Like a little surge tank up front, basically.
And you check to
Same
see
thing.
if it's got water in it.
Okay.
In the old days, we used to do this. And the EPA.
There's too many cameras around now.
Anyway, you understand how these things work?
So these are ailerons and
Ailerons.
your flaps?
And
Okay.
if this comes up, the other one goes down.
Yep.
So when it comes across, this wing is going to go down,
Okay.
and the other one's going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right away, that rudder does not turn the airplane.
Right.
These do.
Okay.
And that rudder is used to counteract, like when it's down, this wing's coming up, but you got a lot of drag. You're trying to turn this way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's dragging you to the right.
Mm-hmm.
That rudder compensates for that.
Gotcha.
That's what turns the airplane.
Okay.
So the steeper the airplane banks, the faster you're going to make your turn.
Gotcha.
And the lighter you'll be on that rudder. That's part of learning to fly, is that coordination.
Just getting that balance right, yeah.
On the Piper here, they use the whole surface as an elevator.
Okay.
Some airplanes you've probably seen, this is fixed.
Fixed, right.
The hinge line's back here.
Yep.
This wheel, the wheel on the floor in there moves this. This is your trim.
Okay.
So it depends how
Get
to
it trimmed
balance
out.
the airplane. You can let go of the airplane.
Yep.
We'll demonstrate that today. Well, the antennas, you'll learn that later. Anyway,
Okay.
that little cone-shaped one, that's what they call an emergency locator beacon.
Okay.
If you were to ever have go down somewhere in the woods somewhere in Maine, the inertia of actually hitting branches, trees, and turns that on.
Okay.
And the people that watch that stuff, they know how to find you because of that antenna. And the other one's the bent one there is like a transmitter. And then this V-shaped one here is your VOR for navigation.
Okay. Yep.
So you'll be asked that on your oral. So
Okay.
what's that do? And stuff like that.
I gotcha.
So
So the VOR, is that always a double antenna because it's got to pull in the direction? Or?
most of them are V-shaped like that.
Okay.
Some of them you'll see on top of the fuselage, but it'll be, let's see if I can see one around here that's different. They can be more solid looking, but they're basically V-shaped.
Okay. All right.
So
That makes sense.
they have 3 positions in this particular airplane.
Okay.
And we'll play with them.
Yep. Get the feel of it.
Yeah, being you've already been messing with this stuff, I'll give you a demo ride a little more complicated.
Okay.
It's not like you. So that's an airplane. You're a little beyond that.
I'm a step or two beyond that, but not by much.
So you can move that.
I was going to say, yeah, just get a feel if that's what they should feel like. And all right.
So flaps do 2 things. First notch, you're actually, the camber of the wing here is what gives the lift.
Mm-hmm.
So when you lower the flaps to the first notch, you're increasing lift. You get down to number 2 and 3, it's hanging down so far. Now it's dragged to slow you down.
Yep.
It works 2 ways.
Yep.
Same thing on airliners. Absolutely the same.
Okay. And you're not really getting any extra lift out of those second and third positions. It's
That's
more
right,
just
you're
drag.
getting pure drag.
Just pure drag. Okay.
Yep. The 727 is the most spectacular part about that. The leading edge devices, they actually hydraulically go down in the front.
Yep.
They come out first. Then the flaps come out. But on 727, the flaps come out like this, and then they slide down. Now you got a lot of lift. You can really get slow.
Yep.
And then you come down, now you got drag to slow you down. It takes more power to stay in the air with those flaps hanging out.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that on those planes. You'd see it come out and then it would just turn.
That's right.
Kind of increase the airfoil almost.
which I missed. Coming this way.
All right.
Go ahead and get in the left seat. I'll show you how to adjust the seat. And then the door's supposed to stay open now.
Alright.
You want to be comfortable so you can push those pedals the full distance.
Okay. Can I push them now?
Yeah.
Just to see where they go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Push them back and forth. You want to see how it goes.
Okay.
Now the top part of the pedal is the brakes of the airplane.
Yep. No, it's got some upgrades in it, huh? This Garmin 530 and new radio.
Yeah, 530, and then
Nice.
they have a lesser one that's about half the size called the 430.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about those too.
But anyway, just to kind of brush over what this stuff is all about. See, the master switch here, the red ones.
Okay.
And these just control different lights on the airplane. And this controls the beacons on this thing. And you probably heard of ADSB. That turns that on so that they know where we are and all that. And the ignition switch, so you got right, left,
and both.
and both. So all that does is just turn the magnetos on and off.
Okay.
And your altimeter's here. This thing's been flown, so everything's sort of
Dialed in.
Yeah, they get barometric pressure. That's where you set it.
Okay.
Artificial horizon, turn bank, which you've been reading about, all that sort of stuff. Carburetor heat is here.
Okay.
Just all this is up, down.
Yep.
Mixture control is here.
Okay.
This is obviously off to kill the engine, before which you get started.
Okay.
Anything else at the moment?
Well, do you need to use the primer or no?
A little bit. Being the engine is warm, we'll probably prime it about 4 or 5 times. If it had not been flown today,
Okay.
about this temperature, it'd probably take 7 or 8, 9 to pump it in.
Okay.
Now that primer pumps the fuel directly into the cylinder.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not vaporized or anything.
How do you know which is which? Or does it matter?
They're 2 different size pins, it won't fit.
Oh, are they really?
Yep.
Oh.
It'll let you know right away whether you're doing it correctly. Okay. I'm passing up.
Now that nose wheel out there, it's still holds about 17 degrees either side by pushing the pedals. Oh, okay. It turns back and forth. Yep. I'll let you do that if we get started here. Oh, wow. So that's actually steering the wheel, it's not the rudder acting on anything. Well, the rudder is moving back there, but the nose wheel is what I was mainly pointing out to you. Okay. This changes all the frequencies. That's 331 runway 6, next to me at November Mike 1. Hear that okay, huh? Yeah, okay. Temperature 13, dew point -1, altitude 2984. ILS approaching east, arriving and departing runway 6. Simultaneous approaches are being started to the intersecting runways. Hazardous reclamation for New England is available on flight surface frequencies. Say that code again, 5125 I believe? 5125 for the squawk, and maintain VFR below 3000, departure frequency 124.9. Okay, 124.9 departure and remain below 3000. Turkey 494, read back correct, runway 6 at Zulu, taxi via Zulu. 9125. Okay, runway 6 by Zulu, taxi and holding shorter runway. What was that? 5125. Oh, 5125. Okay, move your feet on top of the pedals and push on, they'll come to a stop. Oops, oh, that takes some getting used to, huh? Yep. Alright. Holding. Make sure we got everything covered here. on the intersection here. Cherokee 494, turn left heading 350, runway 6, Zulu, clear for takeoff. There's a takeoff and Thunder heading up 350, 494. Southwest 2870 for 6. Southwest 2870 Manchester Tower, wind 010 at 3, runway 6, clear to line. Clear line 6, Southwest 2870. Okay, keep 6 feet, hands on the controls, and don't push on top of the pedals. Keep 6 feet on the rudder stuff. Okay, so you can go ahead and try to steer a little bit. Just stay on a white line, whatever it takes. Now we got full throttle open. Oh yeah, you gotta feed that some right, huh? Airspeed is increasing. I need to kind of come back on a little bit. Push forward. Okay. And then we make a left turn to about 350. Okay. Here. Yep. Whoa. Now you can roll out. Oh, left to right wheel on the right pedal. Cherokee 494, Thunder, south departure. 494, change the order, Boston departure. Boston departure, Cherokee 494, with you. Kill it, Manchester. Departure, Cherokee 3494 with you. Cherokee 3494, Boston departure, radar contact, verify your altitude. Just leaving 1,100. November 494, roger. Where are you going to do with air work at? We're just going to be east of the Conklin Airport, doing a little air work, and then come back to Manchester. November 494, proceed on course. Proceed on course, 494. Now we don't have to follow that 350. Oh, okay. Or 20 heading anymore. Sure. Okay. You doing good? Wow. Let's just head for, we're doing 500 feet a minute here with this kind of attitude. What you said is what you see, that horizon out there, how much space you see above this is what you started. Although this is reference telling you how fast you climb it. The coordination between your feet and your hands. Well, we'll get further out of here's airspace, then we'll go on through route. Right now, we're still in restricted airspace, and that's why we're not doing anything. But while you're doing this, put your hand down here on your wheel. See this? Yep. If you move it forward, it'll make the nose go down. You pull it back, it'll come up. You can feel it. Oh, yeah. Feel it. You can't move too fast. You're not going to spin, do anything weird. You move as fast as you like to see what it's like. Oh, wow. Yeah. So you can just set your attitude this way. And perfectly well.
So for the most part, we kind of continue to climb out here, very slow but steady climb to about 3,000 feet, and practice some very basic maneuvering, just really trying to teach myself to hold altitude, holding headings, just super basic stuff. And once we're kind of done with that, he asked for the controls back because he wanted to show me a few more things. And this is where it got bad.
530s, that's us right there. Oh, okay. It tells you where you are in relation to everything else around you. Okay. It's a setup normally for instrument flying, so that's actually an instrument radio fix out here at different places and whatnot. Okay. So, when you
you do take off and land, like a place in Manchester, you can actually hold the runway on there, the whole thing. Okay. Let's go ahead and hold it for a minute. You got it now. So as you get used to the fact you can't really make any drastic mistakes. Yes. What I'm getting at, you come back on the wheel, it starts up. Yeah. It doesn't do loops or anything like that. It would if I made it do it, but you... Oh. And then when you go forward on it, now this is a more abrupt one, I'll get up against the ceiling. It's just kind of general by going downhill, okay? And when you make turns, it's like left turn, it's left aileron and a little left pedal. If you do it correctly, that ball will stay in the center. Oh, okay. That shows you're using the right amount of left bank and rudder pedal. Oh, all right. If you did not put enough rudder pedal in there, the ball will fly out like that. It feels weird. Yeah. That's the same with the other one. 03 Bravo, contact 134. And the other thing is 34.7. On your rudder pedal, without doing anything, you push them back and forth. Oh, this is all that happens. It doesn't flip over or do any of that stuff. Oh, it's a horrible feeling, though. Yeah, it is.
So at this point, I'm in trouble, and I know it. Instant, like, sweating, just trying to hold it together. I'm trying to pay attention while I'm doing this. I can shake it off. I'll be fine, right? Yeah, no, not at all. I got so sick, and somehow I managed not to puke, and it was I mean, I could feel it. It was knocking on the door of my throat, like, let me out. I held it together. Took me a good 15 minutes, though, of flying, just to let that settle down. And then even after, for those of you that get motion sickness, you know, it just messes with you so bad. And that was rough, because here I am, like, doing something I've dreamed about doing, and on my first flight, I'm like ready to blow chunks.
If you want some air, oh Jesus! We just you want me to fly it a while? Yeah, would you? Sure. I could kind of load you up a little bit here. So just sit back and relax. And if you want to go back, we can head back. You are not goofing off the pleasant flight like you're going someplace. Yeah, it started when we started doing that. Stomach did not like that. Well, to help you out, that'll go away. You know, that isn't something that's going to happen to you all the time. And you knew a lot more than I expected you to know as a new person. My stomach didn't know it. I was kind of loading you up a little bit. I shouldn't have done that. No, that's all right. Only one way to find out. So that's what the Concord Airport looks like. Okay. Checklist. Make sure that you're on the right fuel tank, the carburetor heat is on, and there's not much to do in here. It's just make sure stuff is ready for landing. So all you gotta do is concentrate on flying, landing on runway. Try to keep your life as simple as you can at all times. Get it behind you. You're done. A very gentle turn, so that when you roll out, you are lined up with that runway. You feeling okay?
Yeah, yep.
See, you're all done. You're well now. Yep. Probably stay this way forever. I'm gonna hold back on a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not lose any more altitude.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But just kind of adjust the turn, so when it's rolled out, you are lined up to land on that runway.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to help you out and stay on the controls here. So
It's just tower, Cherokee Warrior support.
well, lined up. Of course, you said that was indicating we could just come on
runway 35, clear to land. Clear to land, 35.
It's just a matter of elevator control, alignment with the rudder pedals to adjust your power. So you're going down, or you need to go further down the runway. Try to land on the two rear wheels. Don't fly anymore, it touches down on the runway. Come up here, up your brake pedal, start braking it down. Because we're going to get off the next intersection. So anyway, all you do is a checklist to shut the thing down. So you get rid of all your electrics first. So you turn the radios off.
Otherwise, if you turn it off with the key, it still sometimes backfire and everything.
Yeah, you got fuel in there.
So you just starve the engine to death. Then you turn your magnetos off.
Okay.
And then turn off all your... Now the airplane is totally dead. No drain on the battery, nothing's running or anything.
What's that noise that's running now? Just the
Your
gyro?
The
Okay.
gyro, either this one or this one.
Okay.
They turn roughly about 33,000 RPM.
Wow.
So you can hear them as
yeah.
they start winding down.
Okay.
Any questions about anything?
No, that was awesome.
So, well, in spite of not feeling too good for a moment there.
Well, I know next time I
I
should...
hope that didn't discourage you. About
No,
this,
no, no, no.
It's common.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Yeah, no, not at all. To be honest with all of you, I did have to go home and kind of think about this a little bit before I just went and booked anything. It's one of the things you do have to think about. You're going to spend a pretty large sum of money to go through this process or even to start the process. And do you want to put yourself through getting that sick? Is it worth it? For the potential of one day having a pilot's license, one day owning a plane, and having all of that unbelievable freedom that comes with it. And, well, the footage you're watching here is from my first official lesson I just took today, so you can kind of see my answer to that question. You got to get back on the horse and try it again. This second flight, I did not get sick at all, which was amazing. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was just a perfect day to fly, and I'm so glad that I didn't just throw the towel and go, you know what, this is I'm not willing to get sick, because you know what, that's not the last time that's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to happen again, but eventually everybody says your body will get used to it. I truly believe it. Just in the 2 flights I've had, I can see a difference in how I'm responding to it, and the value of being up in the air like that, it's so worth it. So I hope this helps if you ever had any interest in this type of thing. Obviously not typical for my channel, although I thought some of the mechanical stuff was kind of cool, so that you guys might appreciate that. If nobody watches this and nobody likes it and nobody comments, I guess I probably won't share any more of it on the channel, but if this is something you want to see more of, just make sure you like and comment. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or criticisms, please throw it down in the comment section below me. Otherwise, everybody, thanks for watching and have a great day.